Lewandowski, 2024 senior advisor for the Trump campaign and the 2016 campaign, knows Trump better than probably anybody in politics. Corey, different interactions certainly between Elon and Trump today. We want to be fair about this. Was this reminding Musk sort of who was in charge? Was this giving a gracious send-off to someone who was perhaps no longer totally useful to the president, or a distraction, or a little bit of both?
You know, Leland, what I think it was the president showed his gratitude for the world's richest man to come to the government and volunteer his time and a number of teammates' time to try and make our country more efficient, to try and rid ourselves of the waste, fraud, and abuse. And I know how President Trump is grateful for that. I had the privilege on Wednesday to sit in the Oval Office for a couple hours with President Trump and talk about some of the big things that Doge has done. So just because Elon Musk is leaving doesn't mean the Doge projects don't continue. There are a number of people who are still special government employees in the government that Elon brought in, and a number of those people have actually moved into permanent positions to help the Social Security Department and the Environmental Protection Agency and many others find this waste, fraud, and abuse and get rid of it.
Yeah, but wasn't that kind of the point that Trump almost said we don't need Elon Musk anymore today? And you have said, hey, maybe once Elon's gone, we'll find even more.
Well, I'll tell you, I've had the opportunity to be in a number of meetings with Elon. He's clearly the driver of his team, the big picture thinker. He has some really smart guys around him who implement his ideas, but these big ideas have come from him, really. And he's had the opportunity to see the inefficiencies of the government, how the computers don't talk to each other. And then he sticks his computer scientists on and say, fix this problem. You know, Elon Musk is a lot like Donald Trump in that way, where they have these massive ideas and then they empower their teams to go and solve the problems, and they don't take no for an answer. And that's why you see both of these men who've been incredibly successful at the things that they've tried to accomplish.
You disagree with me that the New York Times story, the timing wasn't a coincidence?
Yeah, look, you know, the New York Times is, as you know, being sued to give back their Pulitzer. I don't think they're big fans of Donald Trump. I don't think it is a coincidence that all of a sudden Elon is leaving and they're saying that he's a drug addict and he has had all these things in his bag. Look, I was on the campaign trail. I think everyone knows that. I've traveled a lot with President Trump almost every day from the middle of August to Election Day. I never saw that, and so I can't speak to it, but I'm not surprised by the type of low bar quality that the New York Times continues to put out.
Yeah, I don't think it surprises anybody that Elon Musk indulges in this behavior at certain times. It seems sort of obvious. He smoked a giant joint on TV once with Joe Rogan, so there you go. Help us understand, though. Donald Trump seems to be treating Elon Musk differently. Here's Trump saying he would speak differently about Elon if he wasn't a good person.
Frankly, I don't think he gets credit for what he's done, but he's a very good person too. You know what? If he wasn't a good person, but he did the same things, you know, I'd probably maybe speak differently. He happens to be a really good person who loves the country.
Translate that for us from Trump speak.
Yeah, what that means is he's very grateful for Elon Musk taking time out away from his business. It's cost him billions of dollars, literally, Elon Musk, because of what the left has done to vilify him. And so, you know, this is a man who didn't need to do that, much like Donald Trump. He's been treated the same way by most of the mainstream media, much like Donald Trump. And so Donald Trump said, thank you, Elon Musk, for coming here for 130 days and trying to help us save America. And I think they've truly grown to a friendship between each other. Look, I was there one of the very first times at Butler 2 when Donald Trump and Elon sat down. When I say Butler 2, I'm talking about the second event we did at Butler, Pennsylvania. It was really the beginning of that relationship. I was there. These two men were just feeling each other out to see, you know, how this relationship was going to go, and it really transformed into a friendship. I saw it many, many times in the Oval Office and many times in the White House over the last 130 days.
You think Elon Musk realized the speed of the hits and the pitches and the pace of the game in Washington as compared to in business, when a CEO gets to control a lot more? Hold on, Corey, I'm going to interrupt. You want to listen into the president just getting off Air Force One.
Tariffs, it's going to put them make them even more competitive, and it's turning out to be a great deal. I think it's going to be a fantastic deal. $17 million is $17 billion is being invested for new steel mills, new everything, and it's going to be something special. So that was in honor of the steel workers of Pennsylvania, and it was a fantastic time. We had a great day, and it is raining quite hard, but that's okay. How are you? Go ahead, sir.
Can make Pennsylvania the steel capital of the world again?
I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen. Not much. We just had $17 billion given. And again, we're going to have control in the U.S. It's going to be a USA deal. The board is controlled. More importantly, the money's built, spent on facilities. You can't take them and leave and let's put them in a boat. Somebody said, well, what about that? Supposing they leave. Well, the money's invested on the, on brick and mortar. You can't lift it up and take it. But I think much more importantly, that's going to be a great partnership. And the company Nippon is coming in with $17 billion plus. So it's going to be fantastic for all steel workers.
They have an acquisition. Is Nippon acquiring U.S. steel?
Investment, it's controlled by the United States. And more importantly, they're spending the money on brick and mortar. You can't take it. What are you going to do? Pick it up and move it to Japan? That's not going to happen. And, I rejected this about 4 times now. And when they finally got it right, I liked it a lot. And you could see how happy the steelworkers were. More importantly, you can see from the union standpoint, the union loved it.
It means thousands of jobs in Pennsylvania, right?
That's many thousands of jobs.
The state of Pennsylvania.
That's right. I like this man.
Were you aware of Elon Musk's regular drug use?
No, I wasn't. I think he's fantastic. I think Elon is a fantastic guy. And
Are you troubled by these reports?
I'm not troubled by anything with Elon. I think he's fantastic. Did a great job. And Doge continues, and by the time it's finished, we'll have numbers that'll knock the stocks off. It's going to be, he did a fantastic job. And he didn't need it. He didn't need to do it.
Deal feel final? Has it been finalized?
He replaced. No, I have to approve the final deal.
How will it stay in U.S. ownership? The U.S.
Well, you'll see. But I have to approve the final deal with Nippon. And we haven't seen that final deal yet. But they've made a very big commitment, and it's a very big investment. It's the largest investment in the history of the state of Pennsylvania in any deal, not just steel. And it's thousands of steel workers, and not only there, all throughout the country.
Mr. President, do you support the Lindsey Graham Blumenthal bill that would levy sanctions on Russia?
I don't know. I have to see it. I'll take a look at it.
Are you confident that your proposal for a ceasefire in Gaza that was just submitted this week will get approved by Hamas?
I think they want to get out of that mess. They're in a big mess. I think they want to get out of it.
Do you anticipate any trade deals next week at all? And does this deal today with Nippon sort of overall help your talks with Japan?
Well, Japan very much wants to make a trade deal. I don't think this has much to do with it, but certainly it certainly won't hurt because we have a very good relationship with Japan. But as you know, Japan is in there right now negotiating as we speak, and they want to very much make a deal. I think the deal I'm most proud of is the fact that we're dealing with India, we're dealing with Pakistan, and we were able to stop potentially a nuclear war through trade as opposed through bullets. Normally they do it through bullets. We do it through trade. So I'm very proud of that. Nobody talks about it, but we had a very nasty potential war going on between Pakistan and India. And now if you look, they're doing fine. That was getting very bad. That was getting very nasty. They're both nuclear powers. The Pakistan representatives are coming in next week. And India, as you know, we're very close to making a deal with India. And I wouldn't have any interest in making a deal with either if they were going to be at war with each other. I would not, and I let them know.
Your message to the G7 here in 2 weeks. You're going to Canada. Mark Carney up there obviously has a different view of the world than you do. When it comes to energy, clearly. What's your message going to be at G7 here in a couple weeks?
Well, it's in Canada, and he's a very nice guy, by the way, Mark Carney. I think he's really a very nice person, and we've had some good talks. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Sir, are you aware of the reports that Susie Wiles' phone has been breached and somebody's been impersonating her?
I've heard that, yeah. I've heard
About that? Do you know anything about the investigation?
She's an amazing woman. She can handle it. But I've heard that they breached her phones or they tried to impersonate her. Nobody can impersonate Susie. Nobody. There's only one Susie.
Mr. President, what's your message to Chinese college students in the United States that want to stay in the United States, don't want their visa revoked?
Well, they're going to be okay. It's going to work out fine. We just want to check out the individual students. And that's true with all colleges. And I don't know why Harvard's not giving us the list. There's something going on because Harvard's not giving us a list. They ought to give us a list and get themselves out of trouble. But they don't want to give the list because they have names on there that supposedly are quite bad. We want people that can love our country and take care of our country and cherish our country. And for some reason, Harvard doesn't want to give us a list. I would suggest you all get out of the rain now. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good time. Thank you. Thank you. Come here. Thank you. Who are you with?
All right, President Trump at Joint Base Andrews on a very, very rainy Friday night. You'll notice him heading into the Beast for the ride back to the White House. Bad weather call, so no flight on Marine One. Back with Corey Lewandowski. Corey, it is on moments like this that I am reminded that I don't think there has been a president in history who has enjoyed the job more than Donald Trump does. Friday night, 9:15 at night, pouring rain, and he's holding the gaggle.
Well, and Leland, as you know, he's going to make phone calls. He gets in that Beast. He's going to drive back to the White House. He'll be on his phone working that all night long. Then he'll stay up till probably 11 or 12 o'clock tonight making more phone calls. And he'll start tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Listen, this is the Donald Trump that people voted for. He is nonstop. He wants to get things done. We're 130 days into administration. And you look at what he's trying to do. He's trying to literally achieve world peace. When you say, what has he said? Let's bring the sides together. Let's not keep fighting. Now let's go and get a steel deal done. Let's bring back our manufacturing to this country. Let's pass the biggest tax cut in American history. And if we don't, fellas, we're going to have a real problem. Let's fund our border walls. Let's give our men and women on the police force and in the front lines the tools they need. Let's rebuild our military. This is the Donald Trump that people saw on the campaign trail. They saw him in the first term. He is nonstop and he expects results.
Yes, a stark contrast, too, to his predecessor in the Oval Office. Corey, thank you very much. As always, have a great weekend. Appreciate it. Next, today, the media that covered up Joe Biden's health had
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.